Hello everyone, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to the channel. Now I'm doing this video because I haven't been uploading videos for a while. I just want you guys to know that I'm alive and well. I want to share with you a few projects I've been working on, and also let's talk a little bit about the Leica M-EVI that was released a few days ago. Now first of all, I've been working on comparing these two cameras here, which is the Hasselblad X2D and the Hasselblad X2D 2. Now, I mainly want to use these two systems and see if the upgrades from the X2D to the X2D2 is meaningful for users like myself. And also, I want to see if there's any color differences between the two sensors, as well as how does the newly added focus point improve the user experience, of course, as well as the autofocus performance on capturing moving objects, whether that improvement is big enough for you to upgrade. I'm still working on that because I haven't been able to go out and shoot photos lately. The weather is not helping either, but I will bring them to a trip alongside with this camera here, which is the Sony RX1R Mark III. Now, I've done a video review of this camera, but that was more like a hands-on experience. But this time around, I wish to bring it to a longer trip and to really fully utilize its small size and see whether this is a worthwhile travel companion for you guys. So yeah, a longer term review will be released soon. And finally, we are going to talk about the Leica M-EVI. Now, I don't have the camera with me here right now, and this is the Leica M11D. So you could probably already tell that I'm definitely not the target audience of the M-EVI because I choose to shoot Leica mainly for that rangefinder experience. Hence, the Leica M11D makes perfect sense to me. Because for me, shooting Leica is really all about looking through the optical viewfinder, manually focusing the lens and seeing the rangefinder patch come together, feeling really involved in the photo taking process. Because if I want something, with similar image quality, I could choose the Sony A7CR, which is pretty much the same sensor as this camera here. If I wanted something really, really small, I can go for, the Sony RX1R right here. Or if I'm really serious about, image quality and I want printed out large, I can always pick the Hasselblad. So what I mean by that is what's really unique about Leica, at least the M body, is for me, the shooting experience. But that might not be true for a lot of you out there. I don't want to admit, but I would say the M-EVI is a product that shows the marketing department is certainly overpowering the engineering department, because this camera is really more tailored towards those people who want the M, prestige, right? The M build quality, the M styling, but they don't want to deal with the rangefinder part. Okay, so that's the majority of the audience out there, and there's also a small part of true enthusiasts who, due to their aging eyes or whatever reason that they can no longer fully enjoy the rangefinder experience, but they still want to maintain this, classic Leica M style of a camera body, then that would be a good choice as well. But you could also argue that you can always add a visual flex to your regular Leica M11, then you will still have the same experience. And also there's a few other points that I want to, bring out is Leica could have done a lot more with that camera. Now I understand this is the first generation and maybe they just want to test the water, but still they could have made the at least the EVF focusing experience a little bit more unique than, let's say, the Q series or the SL series, or frankly any other camera brands EVF. They didn't put anything special to the EVF. I originally thought they were going to put sort of like a rangefinder patch-like focusing system in it with some sort of focus confirmation. But no, unfortunately, they didn't put anything like that into the camera. And also, they didn't put IBIS into the camera body, which is a bit of a shame because I thought by getting rid of the whole rangefinder system, they were able to, squeeze in a little bit more tech. But no, they didn't do that as well. And also on top of that, the EVF they're using is not exactly the largest and brightest out there because it's the same as on the Leica Q3 with merely 0.76, I think, magnification. So it's not really helping those with aging eyes or eye strain problems. And what I've heard is it's a 60 FPS refresh rate instead of the 120 on the Q3. So it's actually a little bit worse on that respect. You wouldn't see as smooth and lifelike of a scene through the viewfinder as you would on the Q3, which I totally don't get. What's the point of making it worse than a technology that's already on the market for several years, and also the M being the premium line of their cameras, costing a lot more than the Q, which even comes with a lens? That part I don't understand. Maybe they want to preserve battery life, maybe there's other engineering difficulties with softwares, and hopefully they would update their firmware to bring that 120 FPS back to the Leica M EV1. So yeah, all in all, I am not super impressed by the camera. What about you? What do you think of the Leica M EV1? Please tell us in the comments down below, and we can talk about it a little bit more in the discussion section. Oh, and also, Leica just released a new firmware which allows us to change the white balance of the camera, either through the app or in the camera itself. Now, this is really interesting because a lot of people have been complaining about the magenta shift in the M11 generations of Leica M cameras. Now there's a way for you to fix that. It's not that appealing to me because I only shoot RAW. And of course, if you're like me, you've probably already created a custom profile which fixed the magenta shift already whenever it was imported into Lightroom. So it's not that useful for me, but I understand that for a lot of people out there who shoots JPEG, it will be very, very good because they can now fine-tune their white balance in the camera now. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Well, if you are interested in, like I said, the Hasselblad comparisons or the Sony RX1R long-term reviews, please follow my channel, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.